welcome to the Red Room. I didn't want to talk about it, but Miguel forced me, and he didn't even ask for my consent.
Yes, well, I guess we must talk about this, right? This
Yes, again.
is that subject that we cannot avoid.
Yes. But
And
let me
this
just
time-
say, quote Britney Spears. Hit me, baby, one more time. Because of the hit me, it's a stupid joke. Now you can.
So consent, the consent form, or more
Safety
broad,
tools in general, but the consent
safety
form in
yeah, but we are
particular.
going to focus on the consent form because this time it was the thing that was mentioned by someone on Twitter, and then it turned out to be the subject of the, I don't know if it was
Someone
the
just discovered it. I think it was
end of the week, I guess.
Yes, I don't remember the name of the guy, so I'm trying to avoid, but I think it was the guy with the red cap that does the role-playing reviews that discovered the
Gaming,
consent form. Yes,
the
gaming
gaming
something.
gang, I think
Yes,
it's called
and
Jeff something.
yes, Jeffrey something.
Yeah. Okay, so let's
I
start.
think it's a bit strange that he never noticed it, but carry on.
Well, maybe not that strange.
Good for him.
That's probably the kind of guy who just plays mainstream stuff, and Monte Cook games is a little bit well, we don't know if he didn't know about safety tools. Maybe he didn't
Or
know
the consent
about that
form.
particular one because it's the most ridiculous of them all. It's worse than the X cards, because the X cards is just something that it's an X card. It's a card with an X on it, and you show it when something is happening. But that one is particularly insane. And now let's analyze why is this particularly insane. And this is something that people know, but it should be mentioned again and again and again.
Especially for those people that try to be reasonable and say, yeah, you can use it,
Yes.
it doesn't hurt anybody, blah, blah, blah.
So let's start addressing the authors. One of them is a man, a white guy. I checked it. So it's not it doesn't mean anything here, because this is about inclusion and safety. So the white man is irrelevant. So let's just talk about the woman. She's on second place on the cover, but she's obviously the author of this, and we'll get to that in a bit. The guy is a game designer, so I don't care. So she's called I can't remember her name. She sounds like Shania Twain, but it's not Shania Twain. So Shanna Germain. Okay, so who is Shanna Germain? And this is
She has a stripper name.
Sorry?
So she has a stripper name, but she's a woman, not a tranny.
Yeah, she's a woman. At least she looks like a woman. Which normally, if she was a troon, she wouldn't look like. Okay, so let's share the screen so we can talk a little bit about our friend Shanna. I can't find this here. Okay, she's here. Are you seeing it now?
Yeah, yes. So that's her past before.
I don't know if it's called the past. It's
well, it was written before
still.
the consent in role-playing games.
Okay, so she was, probably. I can probably check that. Yes, 2013. 14. Okay, so she wrote a book called As Kinky as You Wanna Be, Your Guide to Safe, Sane, and Smart BDSM. So Shanna is a BDSM practitioner. Is that the word? I don't know. Well, she practices as BDSM, and she's an expert on safe and smart and sane. I don't know what the fuck is that, but it's if it's BDSM, it can't be sane. You are spanking people while fucking. That's not normal. It's not sane. But yeah, okay. So this book is a basic introduction to the world of kink with a beginner in mind. The success of certain kink-related books and movies has piqued the interest of average couples. Whether
so
it is
this is after, sorry, so this would be after probably. That 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, probably. Whether it is to refresh a stale relationship, I don't think it is. Spanking your partner is not Okay, yeah, maybe. Or safely take the plunge. The author's narrative and instruction, guest interviews, and accompanying erotic short stories that set the scene give the reader the whole picture in deciding how and what types of kink they might best incorporate in their lives.
So
The
she's very
glossary at the back.
experienced in role-playing games.
I don't know. I don't know if she mentions role-playing games here. Probably not. At least not in the same sense that we know role-playing games.
It's a
Probably.
different type of
Maybe.
fantasies. Fantasies and
Yeah.
fantasy are not
Yes.
the same.
I'm sure there are some fantasies mentioned here. The glossary at the back is exceptionally helpful, she says, not me, in defining important terms for the beginner. The book is not for those that have been in the lifestyle. In the lifestyle. Oh, yeah. She is in the lifestyle for any length of time. It truly is a Kink 101 type of manual, but the way in which it touches on subjects, such as health and illness, finding your fantasies, makes it a very valuable resource for those that think that they just don't fit the lifestyle. Okay, again, the lifestyle. You can pursue as much or as little as you like. However, safety and consent, now the keywords, should be the most important factors in making that decision. So these are 242 pages of, I don't know, information, erotica, yes, information about
I'm
this.
curious about those short stories. I'm sure they're dreadful.
Well, she also wrote short stories in a different format. So this is one of the books. No, this is another of her books. It has a very nice cover, and I'm joking about this. It's not a nice cover, it's a very ugly cover. Well, it's a usual cover for this kind of thing. So this is probably not just her. This says edited by her. Okay, so romantic stories of submission and sensuality. Well, she's an expert, so she's the editor of this anthology. So this is couples focused erotica with a BDSM slant that's both naughty and nice. Okay. Bondage, spanking, domination, submission, power play, pain and pleasure, or whatever your dirty mind can think of. Bring on the rope and rough stuff.
The
dungeons.
dungeons.
Okay. Dungeons. Yeah, the corsets and clamps and cuffs. Okay, so these are stories, short stories, I guess, for couples. Dirty and kinky, dirty and
sweetly romantic.
Debauchery. Yeah, this is kind of a romance that is a little bit strange, but she's an expert. She's the editor. She's not just a writer in this anthology. She's the editor. That's okay. This is my search for.
Ooh.
Of dangerous women. This is a different kind of thing, I guess. Dangerous women aren't always the ones who carry guns and take down the bad guys. Sometimes the most dangerous women are the ones we don't even notice. The sultry siren crooning in a smoky bar, the innocent young girl twirling in her summer dress, the soft-shoed nurse who helps the comatose. Okay, in this award-winning...
what is she doing to the comatose?
Yeah, I guess it's probably something like that. So, Shanna Germain gathers 7 of her darkest, lushest fantasy and horror stories about strong, smart women. Okay, so this is about strong, smart women who are kinky as well.
Yeah, and fuck statues.
There's, by the way, I've checked in her. She's an author, so she has an author's website, and one of her favorite things in life is fuck, the word, not the act.
Okay.
She probably writes lots of fucks. She gives lots of fucks.
I use it a lot, but I won't say it's my favorite word.
Bedding Down, a collection of winter erotica. Why is it winter? So there's summer erotica and winter erotica. The winter
you read it while it's raining.
Okay, this one is not edited by her, but she's one of the writers. I guess she's mentioned here, so probably she's one of the writers, maybe just 2 writers. These are strange anthology because it's always 2 or 3 people at least. Okay, so we have her bio here. Shanna Germain claims the titles of writer, editor, Lexi Maven, I don't know what is this, Girl geek, she devil, vorpal blonde, bisexual brain leaker. Of course, she's bisexual. And Schrodinger's brat. Her short stories, essays, poems, novellas, and more have appeared. So she writes a lot of things and different things, which is immediately a red flag for her talent. She's a poet, she's an essayist, she's a short story writer, she is a game designer. She probably can't do any of these things. I can't either, but I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm any of this.
Her games. Is any of those things as Predation, No Thank You, Evil, The Poison Eater is one of those games because they say recent books and games.
Okay,
I'm wondering if he actually wrote any game.
Predation I haven't found here. No, Thank You, Evil is a game. Yes,
Okay.
The Poison Eater I think is I've checked it before. I think it's a book for a role-playing game, I guess. Or maybe not a role-playing game. It's a set in a setting.
So she's an erotic wannabe writer.
How can you say? She's a writer. She's a professional writer. So what can we say about this person? Well, she's blonde, she's thin, she's not ugly, so I guess that's why she's on the...
I'm going to say something probably, but wasn't she dating one of the guys at Monte Cook or something like that? I remember when we first maybe it was
I think she dated Monte Cook some time ago, and maybe that's
probably
why
at the same time that the consent.
So she's probably spanking Monte Cook, and then he invited her to write some stuff. No, it wasn't just that, probably, because she wrote some other stuff for games. So No Thank You, Evil apparently is a game. Probably no one played it. I'm not sure what is it about, but I think it mentions. I think it's about some safety stuff. But we'll go into that because after this we are going to check the book, obviously, because that's the most important part. We are just covering and making fun of the author because we are terrible people. Okay, so after our king shaming, we are going to talk about the book itself. So the book is called, now I've got to share the screen again. The book is called, or the book, it's not really a book, it's a leaflet. It's called Consent in Gaming, and this is the thing that has been mentioned this week. Well, more precisely, what was mentioned was the consent checklist that is at the end of this leaflet. But I want to talk about this whole thing. I don't think anybody is going to watch this, but at least we will discuss it all. So if you want to just go ahead and see the end or not see anything else, go away. It's your chance, because now we're going to start talking about this. I would like to first address this cover, talk a little bit about this, because people are always making fun of how AI art does.
Doesn't know how to do hands.
What the fuck is this?
So it's 550.
Just check the position of this hand. So apparently there's a finger here, and there's I don't know.
Especially that one raised. I don't know how the one that the guy has beneath the gargoyle. I cannot put my hand in that position.
Yeah, these hands are all very strange. And then what is this thing?
You need to be like this. Not.
Why is this ball fluctuating next to this guy? And why is the proportions of his head so strange? I know that he's looking sideways, but it doesn't look like he's looking sideways anyway. And the light
his torso is also a bit weird.
Yeah, yes, it's twisted in the wrong way. And this thing here, the wings of this ugly stuff right here, it's all strange. Why are the wings like this? Look like a bat, but his wings are not the right way. Okay, and the light is all wrong as well. And their boobs are strange. Okay, enough of this. So again, here's the name of the guy that you don't care, because he probably didn't write anything. They just mentioned him. This is all about safety, so she is the expert, not him. Okay, role-playing games allow you to explore and experience things that you'd never want to deal with in real life, or approach topics from the perspective of characters may be different than your actual self. Okay,
And I say no, it doesn't. I mean, yes and no.
yeah, well,
You
it's
you explore dungeons, but that's not something that you do in real life because
yeah, well, that's what she says. You'd
yes,
never.
but she says it in a way that is you never want to deal with in real life. Maybe I would like to go hunting
Yeah,
dungeons, looking
it's
for dragons in
possible.
real life, but I can't because it's
Yeah,
fantasy.
you wouldn't find
Maybe
it.
I would like to go explore space, but I can't because I'm not a millionaire.
And even if you were, you could only explore it for a while, or
Mhm.
a very little bit. Okay, playing RPGs as a shared experience that is supposed to be fun for everyone involved. Yeah. Okay, many RPGs. Now it's the
Oh,
interesting.
and part of that is making sure that everyone in the game has consented to the premise and expectations of the companion game genre.
Well,
This
we
is not
assume that this.
BDSM, lady.
Yeah, well, we assume that when you arrive there and you said that you're going to play, that is the consent you need to give.
Mhm.
There's no more consent.
When I'm looking for players. Yes. Oh, but there's an horror campaign. No, no, no. I don't do
Yeah, well,
horror.
if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. Many RPGs put characters in life or death situations. Yes. Emotional conflicts, not that many, but yeah. And intensity with other people. I don't know what that is. Or
Intense
traumatic
what?
or intensity with other people. I don't know what does this mean. Or traumatic or unhealthy environments. Yes. Things you might avoid or deflect if it were directed at you personally. Yes.
Yes, of course.
By playing a
It
character
is
instead
not.
of yourself. Yes. It gives you a safe emotional distance to think about and deal with those situations. I never thought about that in that way, but yeah.
You
You
never
might
thought
be
about being
horrified.
attacked by a possible of pain machinators and how the trauma that would give you
You
in
might be
real.
horrified. Yeah. You might be horrified at the thought of encountering a horse-sized spider. Yes. But you couldn't try playing an arachnophobic adventure who has to fight a giant spider to rescue their friends. Not their friends, his or her friends. I don't know. I don't know what that means. You may not be interested in an actual relationship in your personal life. Is that so? What does that even mean? An actual a friendship? This is silly.
Oh, but you may enjoy role playing a flirty or even romantic partnership. Your character
An NPC
between
or
your
an
character and NPC.
So she's
Mhm.
talking about aromantic people because they are
Yes.
a large percentage of people, obviously. So it has to be an introduction for this. You probably wouldn't want to deal with the dangers of an actual zombie apocalypse. Yeah, I guess not. But you might have fun with the game scenario where you face off against the Walking Dead. Yeah. The core of this idea is consent. No, it's not. No. You're talking about role-playing games. Whether or not you agree to participate in some aspect of the story. No. And all that is completely fair. No, it's not. Here are some important things to remember when you're dealing with consent issues in an RPG. No, just no. It doesn't happen. You
You
decide.
decide what's safe for you. Sorry.
You can read it if you want.
Yeah, it is always your choice, and nobody ever gets to make that choice for you. Even if the GM is really excited about a particular idea for a game, that doesn't mean you have to accept it out
Yes,
of the group.
yes, it does. You accepted to play this fucking shit. So if you are
Yeah.
going to play it, you are going to accept it or
If
not.
you don't
If you
accept
really
it,
don't
you
want
stop
to,
playing.
yeah, you
But it's
just go.
forcing you to play.
Yeah, you just go out and stop playing. Do you want to proceed?
Uh, Even if the other players are really enthusiastic about an idea, that doesn't mean you have to accept it. They should
Okay.
not persuade or pressure
Repetition.
you into going along with a game idea you're not comfortable with. And if they try, that's a sign of poor respect and a lack of trust at your game table. This means this is for the dead tourist that wants to destroy every table that he joins.
Yeah, probably. Otherwise, this means nothing because the moment you sit down at the table and you say you're going to play, you have accepted and consented everything that you have to accept. And if something happens that you don't want to that you don't accept for some reason, you just leave.
Mm-hmm.
You have legs, or if you may, even if you don't have legs, you arrive there somehow. You can go
You
away.
just crawl.
Yes, you can crawl. Okay, so let's proceed. The default answer is no. Yeah, I've given this answer lots of times since I've started reading this document. Yes, it's no. So let me check what's no. I think no means no. That's what she means. Ideally, consent starts with opting into things you want to try. That's the goal of preemptive tools like consent checklists. But it's inevitable that sometimes it also involves opting out of things you want to avoid. Of course, there are people who purposefully disrespect or ignore someone's choices, but more likely someone at the table will add something to the game that is unexpectedly difficult. It's always okay to say no after something is introduced. This is a load of...
Yeah, this is like she's talking about kink. She's talking about some BDSM session with her friends, the lifestyle.
Yeah, but she might be, because this is not
It's
about...
the wrong type of dungeon.
Yeah, I don't. This
Yes.
has nothing to do with
It doesn't matter why
the
consent was
role
given.
playing game.
You can always take it away with a safe word or an X card.
Okay, so maybe you don't like stories about demons because of your religious upbringing. Yeah, I don't think she's thinking about religious upbringing of someone.
Yeah.
I'm sure she doesn't appreciate people who had religious upbringings.
Or when you were
Well,
7, you speak
except to
lots
one
of.
religion, except that
Yeah.
one.
Maybe you don't like stories about post-apocalypse survival because you spend time in a war zone and know firsthand how traumatic it can be. Then don't join a fucking game that is a post-apocalypse surviving. If you don't like demons, don't play horror team
Yes,
demon team games.
yes,
But the
yes,
idea is of this is to spoil the fun for everybody.
yes, of course. Maybe you're not comfortable role playing a flirty interaction with someone you're not attracted to. This is about, I guess, people flirting with each other, not with NPCs, because
Yeah,
uh,
players.
you shouldn't be attracted to an NPC because it doesn't exist, or that you only consider a friend, or because you're a romantic, of course. A specific
But this one is
reason.
particular retarded because, and I've been in situations in which, for example, when we were playing the Paya Montaro, that my character and the Pedro Frank's character ended up having a relationship. Well, and we've seen those type of no one can make you flirt with another PC and have a relationship with that character if you don't want. That's one thing that the demons can
Well, neither
appear,
an
but nobody
NPC.
can force you.
You can't flirt with the NPC if you don't want to flirt with the NPC. Of course, the NPC can flirt
Yes,
with you,
exactly.
but that's the
Yeah,
different
the
thing.
NPCs can flirt with you, but you can just say fuck off.
Not interested
You
in,
don't have
yes,
to flirt back.
yes. I don't even know why this paragraph is here. Okay.
Yeah. For
Nobody
their romantics.
for the romantics, yes.
Yeah.
Nobody has to explain why they are not consenting. Yes. Nobody is owed an explanation to the game group about it. Yes, of course not. The person refusing consent is not responsible for making the group understand why a topic is a problem for them. Yeah, you can leave, go away. You don't have to explain anything. You don't even need to say, you just leave, go away, go bother someone else. Role playing in a gaming group is not uh, is not meant to take the place of therapy. Oh, isn't it? Oh, I thought it was. Oh, it's not therapy. Okay, great. I'm glad it isn't. So stop, take your mental problems out of here. It's not the group's job to counsel people about the consent topic. No, it's not. You are right here. If you are the one objecting to that topic, you don't have to volunteer, blah, 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 blah. Okay, this is rubbish. Rubbish. There may be a reason why they are not consenting. Okay, this is still rubbish. I don't care. There's a spectrum for each topic. A person might be okay with having goldfish in their game, but not okay with of their goggly eyes, weird smell, and scaly skin. Oh, okay. So you might be triggered for a description of the goggly eyes of a fish. This is a load of crap. This doesn't happen. These people do not exist. They might be okay with violence, but not graphic descriptions of blood and gore. Yeah, maybe, but if you are playing a game that has blood and gore in it,
Yeah.
you gave consent when you started playing. They might be comfortable with flirting, but not declarations of love or descriptions of physical affection, whether platonic or sexual.
I really like the emphasis that he gives to relationships in role-playing games, because we know
Yeah.
that the creatures just love to play romances.
Yeah. Well, the people who will use this thing probably want to play romances and nothing else. But safe romances, not unsafe romances. Everyone in the game consents only to exactly as much as they want to consent to. I've read this before. They're always repeating the same stuff. A player may be comfortable with veiled allusions to aspects of a topic, but have hard lines that they are unwilling to cross. Okay, again, repetition. It's always the same thing. If they are unsure about how much detail, oh fuck, this is terrible layout. They've just interrupted the phrase, a sentence in the middle. This is not about consent, but it's I don't consent to this stupid thing. You're comfortable, blah 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 blah. Okay, I've lost my thoughts brain before because it broke it.
Yeah, you're comfortable on a topic. Yeah, that's awful.
Okay, let's go up here to this box because it's important.
Yeah.
Important things about consent. To decide what's safe for you, the default answer is no. This is a repetition again.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter why consent was given. No, it's the titles. Okay, that's good. Another repetition. Never mind. It's not. This is not the box. You're always repeating yourself.
And it's, everybody's allowed to leave. Of course they are.
Yeah, I guess so. It's not up for debate. I guess wasn't that the thing before? No means no or something.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
It's inappropriate and unfair for anyone else in the game to persuade, pressure, bribe, or influence someone to change their mind about the consent. Oh, again, they shouldn't argue why it's actually okay. The group shouldn't outvote them and make them accept a topic they are not comfortable with. They shouldn't beg the person to try. Oh, shit. You are boring. This person is supposed to be fun, right? She does
just because she's
sexual.
blonde doesn't mean.
No, she does weird sex stuff. So she was supposed to be. Nah, she's not. She's boring.
Yeah. That's why she probably feels the need to do weird sex stuff to make her more interesting and dangerous.
So it keeps repeating. They shouldn't threaten to kick that person out of the group if they decide not to play this game. The point of gaming is to have fun. No, it isn't. I'm reading this fucking shit. I'm not nothing. It's just boring. And nobody should try to convince them to do something like that again. Okay.
Yeah, if they don't want to do it, they're free to leave.
Yeah, that's all.
No, but that's not the idea. Everybody needs to change the game because there's one player that feels uncomfortable with
well, next paragraph. They can
the
always change their mind about what they are or aren't consenting to. Again, this thing all over.
Just go further because this is boring me.
Anyone is allowed
Vomit.
to. Okay, again. Thing.
There's vomit there. There's the word vomit there.
Where's the vomit?
And again, yeah, that was the word of vomit. Wait, they can just leave the table. Convening excuses are they're not feeling well and need to rest or vomit, as most people won't argue. So it's right in the end, an excuse to leave the table. I need to go vomit. Guys, I'm not feeling well. I need to take a shit. I think that would be better than vomit, right?
Okay.
Okay, this is how to give stupid ideas to leave.
This is another box. Let's
and
see.
And go words.
No words and go words are great to use for quick and easy check-ins at the table. A no word, sometimes called a safe word. Okay, again, she's
BDSM.
She's playing something else. Is a word that anyone can say at any time and the action stops. That's great. What's the no word? The no word is goblin. You can use it in a similar way as the X card described on page 6. Have we read that part yet?
No, it's next.
Just make sure it's a word that won't be used in the normal flow of game conversation.
Yes, it cannot be a goblin. Yeah, I shoot the goblin.
Now let's look at the image as well. It's very pretty. There's a black woman with white hair, and
that looks like a cloud, fluffy white hair.
I guess. Yes, and there's a table that's
with water,
and there's a coffee. there, and behind the woman there's a picket fence, right? And the
Mhm.
window and the sheep, and behind the man there's a bookshelf. Is that so?
Yes, I think so.
Very weird. This makes no sense. Well, anyway, a go word is the opposite of a no word. I guess this is also about BDSM. It is the verbal expression of
Oh,
enthusiastic.
oh, yes, yes,
Oh,
more.
daddy, daddy. Oh, fuck this. Okay, let's the X. Oh, now it talks about the X card, and also no thank you evil. So
Let's take a moment for to remind the demise of Adam Cobell.
oh
A
yeah,
moment of
the X.
silence.
Yeah. Okay, no thank you evil has a similar option, I guess, to the X card built into the rules for stopping or changing the action of a game. Players can use the no thank you evil mechanism.
Oh, so it's
Say
not
no
a
thank
game.
you
It's
evil.
another safety tool.
Apparently, it's a game built around safety tools. I'm guessing, just I don't know. Maybe it's just a safety tool. The X card is a game tool. Yes, we know, usable in a game where someone at the table can silently signal, blah 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 blah. Okay, we already know about this, so we don't care. Oh, again, what the fuck is this? So there's a guy that they are smoking drugs. This one has leaves on his face, and this one has one of those Christmas balls. Is that? I think it's that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. Your best game ever. I think this is a game as well.
Let me read a bit of that because this sounds
So read
retarded.
it.
You have to be able to be casual around the other people in your game group, even if you have to always keep your guard up or always worry about what someone will say. It's really hard to have fun. You need the freedom to tell jokes and say silly things because, of course, those things are a big part of role-playing games. And at the same time, you have to feel that no one is going to say something that makes you feel uncomfortable. We need to be willing to recognize when someone just makes a mistake, just like when we want to be able to handle our own mistakes gracefully. But I'm referring to more than just a rare, insensitive gaffe. Sometimes there will be someone in a group who just holds different beliefs than you. Oh my God, where are my pearls?
No, it's a
Just
Nazi.
like in any group of people in life, and just like in other aspects of life, some of those beliefs might be downright offensive or make you feel unsafe. And no role-playing game is worth of that. Why is this shit here?
I don't know. Maybe it's a paragraph. I think it's a paragraph from a game, probably about safety. But it's interesting because these people, when someone doesn't agree with them, they call them Nazis and they want to cancel them and kill them. So that's what this sentence, this paragraph means. If someone in the group doesn't have the same opinion as you, cancel him. And I guess it should be him, not they. Recovering from consent mistakes, because yes, consent mistakes may happen. No matter how careful everyone is about consent, someone might make a mistake and introduce a topic that isn't on the opt-in list. Now you should shoot that person. No, it's not. It's not. They are against. It might be table talk about something they read on the internet, talking about a new movie in the theaters. Why is that against consent? Or
Because it's a movie that is triggering. I don't know how these people, honestly, I cannot believe they take this shit serious.
yeah, of course not.
Nobody can, you cannot live your life like this.
They couldn't function in society.
Well,
Well, some of them probably don't, but they don't play as well, so they don't need consent lists. It's unfortunate, but it happens, and the group needs to know how to pull back from that situation and recover. Here's an overview of the steps your group can take when this happens. They are talking about this seriously, as if this is something life-threatening or something. Someone recognizes the conversation moved to a non-consent topic. Oh, they are talking about a non-consent
I didn't
topic.
consent to this.
One person should call out that it happened. Of course, stating this as a bullet point doesn't make it easy. It's awkward to be the part.
Wait, sorry.
They love it.
Sorry. That's someone recognizes and someone call out that it happened. It's the same fucking stuff.
Yeah. They like to repeat things. Then next bullet point, the person who made the error should apologize to the group. Of course.
Yes, of course.
This is part of the whole thing. You have to apologize. Some people find it hard to apologize because they are Nazis. But there's the thing, you're a role player. If you
No,
can
you're not.
be no, you're probably not. If you are reading this, you are probably not. If you can insult the king to his face or stand your ground against a horde of charging orcs, if you can accept that you killed the entire party with a fireball, take credit for killing a dragon, you can apologize for your friend. So you can pretend that you are apologizing. You can be a fake. Okay, you don't need to single out anyone with your apology. Just apologize to everyone. You can smooth things over with a simple apology, like, I wasn't thinking about our
I
consent.
promise to do better.
Yeah, it's not. I'll
It's
do
not
better.
there.
It's not here. It's just I'm sorry. That's not enough. Everyone in the group should agree to be more careful about it. That keeps the person. Just apologize from. Oh, you have a cliffhanger again. From being singled out, and reminds everyone that
You
dealing
will
with
be singled out, and they will destroy you.
there's another paragraph here from Your Best Game Ever. A good game group should offer a comfortable, safe space for everyone involved. A part of this is dealing with issues sensitive to all involved. And this is all so boring. There are topics with both sex and violence being at the forefront that require an understanding of the other people at the table. Blah, blah, blah. Okay.
No, boring. Stop that. Everybody left.
Obviously. Aftercare and checking. I love this part. Even a game that goes perfectly, enthusiastic consent, fantastic player and character interactions, and a good time for all, could use a post-game check-in. No, it
This
no,
is the part when they see if someone got any DSTs from
yeah,
the BDSM session.
maybe. Sometimes called aftercare of the beef. So fucking boring. The goal of check-in is to create a space between the game and the real world that invites everyone to process the experience in a safe, supportive. Do you need that? I don't. This is so tiring.
Be aware of bleeds.
Bleed occurs. Is that what layouts that thing on the? I don't think that's bleed
Yeah,
occurs
the
when
thing that destroys the layouts.
bleed occurs when the emotions of a character affect the emotions of a player. Oh fuck. There's nothing wrong with bleed. I don't know. I don't care. I'm getting sad. This is making me depressed. Okay, let's go ahead to the consent checklist.
Yeah. And let's say that the idea of the consent, and there were other people saying that, is that, okay, you're going, and because a lot of people were saying that, oh, but this is, you don't need this if you play with your group, but if you're playing with someone that you don't know, if you're playing at a convention, it can be really useful. So the idea behind this, give a stranger a list of things that really trigger you.
Yeah,
Yes,
of course.
you want to do that, things that are traumatic for you.
Okay, so there's a description of the consent checklist with a boring description of game master name. There's a paragraph to explain this.
Player
I don't
name.
know. It must be a safe name, I guess. I don't know. Player name also, same thing, a paragraph. Plan theme. Okay, this is a quick summary of the game. Interesting. No, it's not really interesting. Movie rating. How the game will be rated, blah, blah, blah. Okay, interesting. Consent topics. This is a long list of topics. Yes, we'll cover that next. Clarification. Oh, of course, because just a list of topics, it's not enough. You have to clarify things. Yeah. Using the consent checklist. I guess this is repeating whatever was said before. How not to use the consent checklist. Well, not using it is the best way of using it. Do not use it. Again, another paragraph from Your Best Game Ever. It's not your best. I'm sure it's not your best. It's probably your worst game ever. Yes. Again.
Oh, the opt-in don't the opt-in topics don't have to be part of every session. Oh, good.
Yes, and the opt-out.
Can never, ever be.
Yeah. Additional resources. Again, it talks about other stuff. The no thank you evil mechanism, the same page tool. I've never heard about this one. Okay, gender, of course. You must have gender pronoun name tags or it's not safe. Although not designed specifically for RPGs. Oh, wasn't it? There are a number of places to download or purchase name tags that have a space for gender pronoun. Okay, so I'm going to remember this not to go there because renowned name tags is something that, again, your best game ever.
I think she wrote that, right?
Yeah, probably.
If it's a
Okay, I
book.
have to check what's your best game ever. But probably not now. Okay, finally we arrived to the specifically the thing that was mentioned this week, the RPG consent checklist. Okay, so we have words, some of them not exactly words, and then you have three options: green, which is enthusiastic consent, daddy; yellow, okay if fail or off stage, might be okay on stage, but requires discussion ahead of time. And certain. This is all so boring. They have to discuss everything. And red, hardline, do not include. Well, this is the no words. Horror. This is the genre. You can decide it right away. So you have bugs.
Blood, demons, eyeballs, gore, harm to animals, harm to children, red spiders.
And then spaces below
Yeah.
to add more stuff because you might be afraid of.
I think it's eyeballs.
Snakes aren't here. Why not?
Yeah.
What?
Body parts. That's not exactly gore.
Dicks, vaginas.
Zombies.
Okay.
Why is not zombies there?
Probably. Yeah, it should be right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you have a strange thing because there's relationships, but then below there's a
romance and sex.
Yeah, so relationships.
What about friendships?
Maybe relationships is about friendship, yeah, or
yes.
family relationships. You don't.
No,
there can't be relationships at all. So
there is no friend. Friendship is not. Yeah, that's friendship is not a relation. A relationship. Yes.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Not for them, for sure.
You have romance, fade to black, explicit between PCs and PCs, etc. Sex, blah 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 blah, and it's described below. Okay, then you have social and cultural issues: homophobia, racism, real-world religion, sexism, specific cultural issues.
There's no transphobia. You see, this is an old list.
Yeah, probably transphobia wasn't as popular at the time, but you have those cases below. And
ableism, fat phobia.
Yeah, in this case, it's a really short optional, unless you just write them all here, because it's not enough. Even if you have a small handwriting, it wouldn't fit there. Mental and physical health. This is the one I like because it includes pregnancy.
Okay.
So pregnancy is something that you can't that can't be in the game.
In severe weather, I mean,
yes, like heavy rain. You can't. No, heavy rain. I'm triggered by heavy rain.
Terrorism, torture, thirst.
Oh, I'm thirsty. I'm thirsty. You can't be thirsty. That's triggering. This is so silly. Additional topics, of course, because this doesn't cover everything. And then you have some more. Do you want the game master to follow up with you to clarify any of these responses? Because you have always you always have to discuss things to further detail. Okay, I guess we have we can stop.
Well, let's remind that this came from the mind of someone that wrote a lot of erotica books and also safety in bondage books. So no, there's no place for this in role-playing games.
No, this is
not kink.
This is all. Besides being boring and stupid and retarded and silly and all those things, this is very much not about role-playing games. This wasn't written about. She basically used some words that she probably used in some blog post about something else, and she replaced sex with role-playing games. It makes no sense. Most of this makes no sense. I know that there are a few paragraphs there that are obviously about role-playing games. Those don't make sense as well, but for different reasons. But some of those large paragraphs, they aren't about role-playing games at all. They're just, it makes no sense. So in the end, we know that some of the people that are because we play role-playing games, and we have found this discussion elsewhere often. We know that some people are using role-playing games to pretend they are or to cosplay or to LARP BDSM in a more safe way, I guess we can say it, in a fictional way.
And these people may have destroyed some horror games.
Yes, they have, like Cult and Vampire and all the World of Darkness games. But the thing in this is, so you want to play a role-playing game, you play a role-playing game. If you want to do BDSM
or any sexual role play,
yeah, go do it in your bedroom or in somewhere else.
Your dungeon.
Now, it's stupid if you are going to use a role-playing game to role-play sex. That's very silly. I may understand that if you are doing that, you will need the same safe words because it might get weird if you are not. But that's not. That's.
It might get weird.
Okay, it could be. I guess it could be. It could be considered a role-playing game if you are. If you call it Sex, the role-playing game. Okay, let's imagine there's a game that's called Sex. Sex, the role-playing game, where you will play people fucking or doing weird stuff, BDSM stuff. Okay, in that game, I can accept that you have safety tools. Okay, but I don't want to play that game. I'm not going to buy that game. That game is probably not going to be.
We're not going to write that game.
Yes, you're not going to
that game.
It's not going to be played at conventions or stores. And most importantly,
maybe at sex conventions.
Yeah, probably.
In sex shops.
And most importantly, if that game, even if that game exists and it uses those safe words and all that, you don't need to pick them up and use them in every other game. Okay? So if that is what you want to play, do not play Vampire, do not play Cult, do not play Call of Cthulhu, do not go play Sex, the role-playing game, which doesn't exist, but I'm sure there are some weirdo pink-haired people that wrote, maybe it's No Thank You Evil or whatever. You can play that game, and that game has all those things. Please do not take those things into mainstream games, because in mainstream games
or
independent games, yes.
But well, real games.
When I said mainstream, I was thinking about any kind of game, except the very weird ones that they do. In those games, even if there is violence, sex, and all that, it's supposed to be played as a scene or something that it's not the purpose of the game. It's not the main thing of the game. It's just a part of the game, and you can skip it or not, or play it more or less depending on the group. But you don't need the safe words. You don't need the X card. You don't need any of that. You might need that if you are doing something very weird and calling it a role-playing game, but it's not a role-playing game. It's your idea of a role-playing game, which is not the common person's idea of a role-playing game. So stop bothering people at conventions who are playing common role-playing games, if they are horror role-playing games or dark role-playing games, not even horror, but dark fantasy or whatever. Those are common games. Those aren't sex games. Even if there is sex in the game, it's not a sex game. So
if you're triggered by a zombie apocalypse, don't go to a convention to play a zombie Walking Dead. Or if you are arachnophobic, well, don't play a game that is about giant spiders. Yeah, and expect people to change the game because of you.
Oh, the little bastard is up there.
Yeah, that's when he was climbing down and he how do I say, bateu a cabeça na...
He bumped his head against something.
Yeah, he bumped his head in the table.
Okay, well...
but it wasn't that bad because he's there again. The clumsy little bastard.
In the end, what the conclusion we arrive, it's always the same. These people aren't playing role-playing games. And when they are playing with other people that are playing role-playing games, they want to use these tools to just annoy them.
And even I imagine if you're using the consent form first, well, you're going to say the things that are traumatic to you, if they're really traumatic to a stranger, don't do that. You don't know. That person
Yeah.
may be an asshole. Anyway,
I'm sure that that person is an asshole because
yes, of course,
he's
if you use
asking
the
for a
consent form,
consent
it's an
checklist.
asshole.
That
But
person is
what I was thinking, just
at the
imagine
very
that
least.
people are using this, and there's something that is a yellow line or is and then you have to use the X card. Oh, we need to stop. I'm not comfortable. Stop, and we need to discuss. It's going to ruin the game. You cannot play something when the players are raising their cards and say, "Oh no, stop." I don't. They don't play. They will spend the session discussing what triggers them.
Yeah, but I guess that's it. And they said it's not a therapy session. Yeah, it's not. But then you start talking about your triggerings,
But some
and
people will
it
say,
turns
some
out to be
people
that.
that Shanna doesn't say that role-playing games are not therapy, but a lot of people that are pro the safety tools and consent forms, they do say that, oh, people can be traumatized and blah, 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 you need to be careful. Well, role-playing games is not therapy. If you are so traumatized that you can't function in society and you get triggered by words and you have panic attacks, maybe you shouldn't play. You shouldn't play with strangers for sure. You should play with people that know you and know that you have their triggers and will know how to avoid it. Don't play with strangers.
Also, again, about that, I don't think that person exists. Those hypothetical
Let's imagine that that
people
person
triggers,
existed.
I don't think that they even exist. But yeah, if they existed, they shouldn't be playing.
And I don't think they would, because someone that is so
Yes,
that is
probably.
really someone that has severe PTSD about something. I don't think that and has social issues, social anxiety. I don't think that person would expose themselves to be playing with strangers.
Yeah, probably not. Yes, they might play with friends, but not with strangers. Yeah. I mean, if the person is triggered just by words and then just loses everything, that person wouldn't probably be at the convention.
Exactly. What you
That,
have is LARPers
that
that
wouldn't even
pretend that,
happen.
oh, I'm so offended. And then they
Yeah,
film themselves in their cars crying and
yeah,
having a meltdown.
and they do a TikTok video. Okay, so I think we have proof that this is all rubbish. That people pushing these things are either non-role playing games like Shanna, with using her. So she's a grifter, obviously. She grifts where she can, and then she dated, apparently she dated Monte Cook, and she brought her grifting into role playing games, and she won some money by writing about sex when she was really writing for role playing games. So grifting, annoying people who want to destroy other people's games, which are most, I guess, most of the people using this shit is just because they are, first of all, they are narcissists, and they don't want, and they want everything to happen to their character, only positive things to happen to their character, so they are using this.
Need everything to be about them.
Yeah, so and then there are those weirdos that are playing sex games, these guys as role-playing games, or role-playing games, these guys as sex games, I'm not sure. One of those two things. So these three groups, well, they are not role players. They are not role players. So we don't need to use or even accept the use of this silly stuff, these safety tools around role-playing games, because this is like the vegetarian complaining about what people eat in a restaurant where he never goes.
A steakhouse.
Yeah, so that's basically the same thing. We do not care. You can have your opinion, yes, but don't bring it here. It's like a vegetarian going into a steakhouse and saying you can't eat meat because offends
It's
me.
like me forcing
Well,
you
they
that
do
you said
that, I know, but
no, not me forcing you to go to a sushi place.
yeah,
And then but of course what I do, I don't take you to eat sushi.
yeah, it's not
I
it's not
know that's
it's in reverse. So it's like it's it's someone that doesn't do something going into some other place and interrupting other people doing something and complaining that that's offending them or they them, and it's you don't need you. If you don't like it, don't come. Like, go
you don't
somewhere
want
else.
to be here, go away.
If you don't want a steak, don't go to the steakhouse. Go eat your salads elsewhere. Don't go into a steakhouse complaining that you were offended by meat. That's not polite and silly. That's also silly. And so That's what they are doing here. They are non-role players, bothering role players with tools that are not needed.
But some of them are professional DMs.
Yeah, but they are not role players. That's usually that's the same thing. They are not role players. They are tourists. They are grifters. They are weirdos. So yeah, that's it. I think
Yes, we covered everything.
we've bothered. If someone is watching, we've bothered someone to sleep. Maybe. That's the other thing about this. It's very very boring, extremely boring. I'm sleepy now.
I think her BDSM book is also boring because if there's
It's
the same
probably boring. Yes. So
talk about consent and all that shit.
Yeah, she's probably not very successful in her BDSM life. That's why probably she went into role-playing games. She was bothering people with boring them to sleep instead of spanking them with a whip. Okay, enough for today.
Yes. Yes.
Bye.
Bye-bye.